Hey, what's going on, guys? My name's Slcmof, back again within the video, and as many of you know, there is a Nightwing DLC pack, or that's what they're calling it at the moment, coming out in late September, and it's the last slotted DLC coming in September. And the description of it says something along the lines of, stop Penguin from breaking out of the GCPD following the events of Batman Arkham Knight. So after you complete the Nightfall Protocol, you have all 14 major supervillains locked up, and Penguin tries to escape, and you're playing as Nightwing and trying to retain him or keep him in prison. Now, right off the bat, since there's not going to be a sequel to this, we know how this is going to end. Nightwing is going to throw Penguin in prison. So what I'm really looking for is the meat in the middle, and that's what I want to talk about in this video. So we know that Penguin is not going to get out, and there's going to be like a sequel where like Batman and Nightwing, team up and try to take him down or whatever, blah, blah, blah. So we know how it's going to end, just like we knew how the Batgirl DLC was going to end, kinda, maybe not, I don't know. I mean, we knew none of the characters were going to die, so I guess that kind of counts for knowing how it's going to end. As I said in a previous video, I've been very critical of the Arkham Knight DLC. I loved Arkham Knight as a great game, and I enjoyed playing the DLC. I enjoyed the Batgirl DLC, but I didn't get what I really wanted out of it in terms of a $7 story DLC pack, since it was only about 45 minutes long. I guess sometimes an hour, depending on how fast you're playing through it. For me, when I think of a story DLC pack where you're focusing on a character that's not Batman, or even when you are focusing on a character that is Batman, so we're talking about Barbara Gordon, Nightwing, that kind of thing, I think you really have to try to develop that character more than you developed in the primary game. Of course, in Batman Arkham Knight, neither Barbara Gordon, she gets the most character development of any secondary character, but Nightwing, we don't really see him much. We only see him in the Penguin side missions. My biggest complaint of the Batgirl DLC in particular was that there wasn't enough actual plot to it or enough substance to the campaign of what you're doing. You were only rescuing hostages, which we had been doing since Arkham Asylum, really, and in Arkham Asylum you did it quite a bit, and of course in future games you did it quite a bit as well, and there's nothing wrong with that, but when you're selling us a pack for $7 and there's not really any plot to the substance, there's no real developments between Batgirl and Tim Drake, there's none of that really, and because of that, I thought the plot was kind of weak, and the substance of what you're doing, rescuing hostages, and then a final boss fight, which is really just, spamming, X and triangle, or square and triangle, just kind of beating people up, which was fun. I really actually enjoyed the final boss fight. I don't want to get you wrong, but, it wasn't like a typical boss fight that we would expect, like the end of Arkham Knight. That's like a Big Daddy boss fight, I think what Rocksteady should really try to do is to make sure that this one is long. We're talking 2+ hours. That's the way the Batgirl DLC should have been. That's my personal opinion. Again, I like the Batgirl DLC, but $7 for 45 minutes of gameplay is a little absurd, considering that the main game itself is $60, and, you get, I've put in over 50 hours on that game, so you can kind of do the math. That doesn't really make much sense, and I have played the Batgirl DLC twice, but still, you're just rescuing hostages for $7, and there's not really any substance to the plot. So what they should really try to do with the Nightwing DLC, and I'm a firm believer of this, is that they should have a significant story to it. Other than just beating up random thugs and then throwing Penguin back in jail, it should have a story that contributes to the existing Arkham canon. How they would do that, there's a lot of different ways they could do that. But not only just innuendos and references to Arkham Asylum, and I love when they do that as a fan of the Arkham trilogy, when they reference previous chapters of the trilogy of the canon universe. But creating a storyline with actual cutscenes, with actual dialogue and plot, that's what's going to really make this a great DLC. So let me know your thoughts on this commentary in the description below. Do you want a story pack that's longer than the Batgirl DLC, and one that is a little bit more plot heavy, one that actually contributes to the existing Arkhamverse, or do you want something more like the Batgirl DLC that's really combat based, a lot of stealth and combat settings and that kind of thing, or do you want something a little bit more unique, a little bit more story-based, like I said with the Nightwing DLC, which is what I'm hoping for. Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed, you can feel free to like the button. My name's Slikmof, and we'll see you later.